Well, we are certainly in an active weather pattern, and we are not done just yet. Today brought a break from the widespread thunderstorms, but we're not done yet. We have one more round that's going to be tomorrow. Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Darrell Winninger from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at your a deep dive at your most reliable forecasts. And just a quick look outside, what we see is a whole lot of cloud cover. We can even see a few showers off in the distance in a couple of these cameras, but ultimately it just has been cooler and wetter through the Tri-County area. So let's go ahead and look at satellite and radar. Earlier there was a single thunderstorm that was pushing north through eastern Jefferson County, capable of producing frequent lightning, but outside of that we've had some lightning strikes. That's pretty much it. Now, through the day tomorrow, that's when we're going to see that change. Instead of some off and on steady rain, that's when we're looking at more thunderstorms that are going to be stronger than what we've had in the last 24 hours. So when we actually, let's go ahead and back up. Let me back up one so we can just take a tour across the state and just see what's been happening. So when we look to the south, not too much in the way of thunderstorm activity, kind of what we're seeing over the high desert and even over the southwest corner of the state. Eastern Oregon has a couple of thunderstorms, but most of it has already pushed out of the Tri-County area and into Wasco County, going a little further north. It'll cross a couple other counties before it fizzles out, but that's the bulk of our thunderstorm activity. So when we look at the bigger picture, what we're seeing is mostly rain, a little bit of circulation. It's part of that low that's making landfall, and this low is still going to be with us through the next couple of days. You can see it over northern California, so we're not done. And when we look at the bigger picture, what we're really seeing through the entire region is the main driver of our weather pattern is this low pressure system that's been rolling into the region. Now, there are some tall thunderstorm clouds tall clouds that are capable of producing lightning over the Tri-County area, but most of the thunderstorm activity has been pushing further to our north. Now, there is a broad ridge of high pressure out over the Pacific Ocean. What's going to happen is this high fills in the wake of our low pressure system, and it amplifies over the Pacific Northwest. So that means all the activity that's further out over the Pacific Ocean is pretty much going to go around our ridge of high pressure. However, it's not locking in place. We're not going to see this high pressure stick around for too long. In fact, about 48 hours, 2 days, that's our window. So here through the rest of this afternoon and evening, where we have these showers, some thunderstorms are going to be possible. That clears the area tonight. And then through the overnight hours, we actually get some AM clearing, setting us up for a quick warm up tomorrow before some thunderstorm activity begins to develop through central Oregon. And by Wednesday at 1 p.m., some of those thunderstorms already on radar, and they're going to be slow movers as they push across the Tri-County area, which means a couple of different things. Number one, it means some locations where we get some training, thunderstorms moving over the same track, could be looking at some flash flooding. Number two, some of these cells are going to be capable of producing abundant lightning and maybe even some small hail with gusty winds, and then that fizzles out as we go into the overnight hours. But number three is we keep these showers and even a chance of thunderstorms through the overnight hours. I'm going to open this graphic up and take it a little bit slower. So here through the overnight hours where we do have some thunderstorms, they fizzle out. We get some AM clearing. That AM clearing is what sets us up for a little bit more warming through the day tomorrow. And then by Wednesday at noon, that's when we start to see the thunderstorm activity beginning to develop. Through the afternoon, we have slow movers. And that means cells are just going to be gradually working their way across the high desert, moving in different directions, mostly east to west though, because of the rotation of the low that's to our south. And then overnight, that's when we could get some thunderstorms, that wraparound moisture coming around that low pressure, and there will be quite a bit of rain, but some of those could be thunderstorms overnight. We don't typically get overnight storms unless they're petering out through the PM hours. So we're starting Thursday with some off and on showers, and then by Thursday afternoon, a few thunderstorms are going to be possible. Now, because of this, the National Weather Service has actually issued a flash flood watch through central Oregon, the entire Tri-County area, and that's going to be from now until 11 p.m. on Wednesday. And so we are looking at the potential of getting some flash flooding, and most of that happens over where we have some burn scars. Also, areas with poor drainage could be looking at some of this flash flooding as well, and we've seen that the last couple of, really this past weekend when we had some heavy thunderstorms rolling through the Greater Bend area and a few other spots where the drainage was poor. That's where we got a little bit of pooling, and maybe some flash flooding is going to be possible. But when we look outside once again right now using the Oregon Hazard Labs camera, none of them are really trained in on any specific system. So that's leading me to believe that even though we've had some thunderstorms rolling through the Tri-County area, we didn't have anything that actually sparked up any new fires. But we could be looking at a change up with that through the next couple of days, particularly because of what's going on with the thunderstorms through the day tomorrow. And with those thunderstorms, we could actually see some fresh starts. So let's look at air quality. Because of the rain, it's not too bad. There are some spots that have moderate air quality. Most of us have good air quality, both the hourly average and from the DEQ and those real-time sensors from eSpace. When it comes to relative humidity, look at that. Look at Sun River, 99% relative humidity. That's because we're getting some of that rain. There are some dry spots, mostly in Crook County, where we haven't been getting as much rain, and south of where those thunderstorms were. Now, high temperatures in the last 24 hours, 60s to 80s. Now that 86 is a holdover from yesterday, and current temperatures are sitting in the 50s and 60s for most, with some 70s where we've had less rain. So 77 in Warm Springs, 72 in Madras, 70 in Prineville, and 75 in Paulina. The cooler area, that's on the east slopes of the Cascades, where we have been getting wet. And temperatures are actually running between 9 and 15 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago. But as we go forward, here's what you can expect. Tonight gets a little bit cooler. We're bottoming out in the 40s and 50s with a few 30s out there. And tomorrow, temperatures very close to where they were today. That temperature profile is going to bring us into the upper 60s and lower 70s. Now remember, there is that flash flood watch for the entire Tri-County area, but let's go ahead and talk about why. We have this low pressure that's making landfall this evening, really today and this evening. And by Wednesday, it's going to be over Northern California. Winds are going to be gusty at times. More thunderstorms are expected because of the cyclonic flow, the counterclockwise flow of this system, just pumping even more moisture into the region, and a little bit more convective potential because of a warmer air mass. We just won't see temperatures bump up too much. 60s and 70s are expected by Thursday. Showers and thunderstorms, but more showers than thunderstorms. By the afternoon, we could be looking at an isolated storm or two, and by Friday, we see a huge flip in the weather pattern where we are looking at more sunshine in the beginning of a brief warming trend. But when it comes to the temperature trend, we are looking at actually warming up Friday and Saturday to the tune of getting into the lower 80s briefly. That puts us near average for this time of the year before our next system rolls in. So for the next couple of hours, we are still looking at the potential of thunderstorms. After that, the next chance of thunderstorms is going to be Wednesday afternoon and evening. Some of those thunderstorms becoming widespread with another round possible during the overnight hours. By the time we get to Thursday, a few PM thunderstorms, but they'll be few and far between. Friday brings a clearing. Saturday brings even more sunshine, and with that additional sunshine, we are expecting temperatures to pick up more before our next system. And that next system actually holds off until Sunday. As it rolls in, more rain and some thunderstorms are possible, then we're back to more sunshine than cloud cover by this time next week. So between now and 11 p.m. on Thursday, we're all getting wet. Some thunderstorms are expected, and most thunderstorm activity is going to be happening by the time we get to Wednesday midday through the overnight hours. So for tonight, 40s and 50s with a few 30s out there. By the time we get to Wednesday, we're talking 60s and 70s with a few 80s and thunderstorms across the high desert. Winds getting breezy. Thursday, a few showers linger in the morning, a couple cells possible in the afternoon, but clearing is expected, leaving us under sunshine and a brief warming trend, a break between systems as that next one rolls in on Sunday. So truly, roller coaster temperatures across the high desert. We're going to wrap it up with a look at your weather headlines for this Tuesday, September the 9th. Stormy afternoons continue. Just because we had a break today doesn't mean we're done. A bigger one is expected tomorrow. And we're sticking with unseasonably cooler days until we get that sunshine starting Friday. That triggers our next warming trend. So through the day today, we have been looking at showers and some thunderstorms. Here's a quick look at satellite and radar. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. Well, the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. We'll see you then.